Hello and welcome to the Midweek Wind Down. I'm your co-host James Johnston.
And I'm Joel Vout.
And so this is our first episode of the Midweek Wind Down. Basically, the theme we're going for with this show is it's going to be dead chilled out, dead relaxed, just two guys kind of bringing their friends on, talking about different themes each week, different genres. We just kind of felt like I did a radio show last year. I wanted to keep doing something on this show. So we had you on our show last year, didn't we, Joel?
Rock Week.
Yeah, and you kind of got a taste for that, and we were like, well, let's just do a podcast. Like, where are you kind of coming from with this podcast, Joel?
Mainly from obviously seeing them all on YouTube. So the ones that I watch are the True Geordies podcast.
Yeah, good one.
I know Stephen Tries has recently started doing them, and that's
I've liked his, to be fair.
they've all been really good. He's only done two so
He's
far.
only done two, yeah.
He talks about like uni life, and the second one's all about his like stand-up comedy and stuff. And that's kind of like what I want from our podcast is kind of sitting there with your mates and just talking about different topics each week, but like it not being just being very casual.
Yeah. I think like through all the conversations we would had about this, it, like casual and chilled out and relaxed, the words that have always come up time and time over again. Like I've watched the XO ones. I watched the one True Geordie where Stephen and all of them were on for the Christmas one.
Yeah.
And like they've been really good. I've just never watched just the True Geordie one because I think as much as I like him and Stephen.
Yeah.
I like them bouncing off each other. I've only just thought of this, but very similar to League of Their Own's Jack Whitehall, Freddie Flintoff vibe.
Yeah.
Very similar, and I love that. I might try a couple of these out. The main ones I've watched have been the Rooster Teeth one. So there's the Rooster Teeth podcast, which is very much four people sit on sofas, have a few drinks, and just talk about sort of like what's going on, like stuff they've seen on the internet, stuff like that. You've got Off Topic, the Achievement Hunter podcast.
Yeah.
That is literally, I think they said one time that they, on the iTunes comments for the podcast, someone was complaining about it and giving it a crap rating, being like, it's just millennials shouting at each other for a few hours. And like, yeah, that's basically what our show is. But like, it's very much them talking about what's happened to them.
Yeah.
Then there's a Funhouse do one, which I think is more, they do like a film review one. But the one that's like very sort of different to them is, I don't know if you'd call it a podcast. It's kind of like one. They do one at Rooster Teeth called Always Open, which is really cool. It's like
The other one like in the pub.
Yeah.
Looks like they've got a pub set up.
Well, that's Off Topic. Always Open is like it's like a bar, so they get brought drinks constantly, and it's the idea of being open. Like they talk about harder topics. And like the idea of the podcast is, I think this is where they came from with it. Is like if their fans see them talking about these topics, they'll be happy to talk about them as well.
Yeah.
And then like they play off the whole always open as in be open yourself and the bar's always open, stuff like that.
They'd be pissed.
Yeah, basically. Like it's not, some of them have been like a couple like tipsy on that show. Off Topic's the one where they've got hammered before.
Yeah.
Like they have the post show and that's where they literally say, we're not on YouTube anymore. This only goes on our site and you have to pay for it. So they just don't hold back. Like they get absolutely wrecked in some of them. We won't be doing that though. We'll be having a few drinks, casual. It's all chilled out.
We'll play it by ear, won't we? We'll see what
Yeah,
goes on.
like we said, each week we'll be doing different themes, different genres. And so first week we've got sports. And so like we thought, who better to get on as our sports guest than Harry Thomas? Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Well,
welcome to the show.
Go on, Harry. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I'm 20 years young. I'm out looking for love.
What's your phone number, Harry? Give that one out.
Oh, well, I was going to, man, actually. I was going to. Can't do that. That's my phone number.
But yeah, like the big thing, like why we thought of you for sports was because Joel said before, you support a team in pretty much every sport, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to list some of them off for us?
It's Crystal Palace, best football team in the world.
NFL,
Obviously. Pittsburgh Steelers, can't go wrong.
NHL,
NHL, Chicago Blackhawks.
NBA,
NBA, Chicago Bulls.
cricket,
Probably Gloucestershire or something. That's close to Oxford. isn't it?
tennis.
Oh, you've stumped him there.
Ooh.
Novak Djokovic.
F1.
F1. McLaren.
Ladies
They still
football.
going, McLaren?
McLaren.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't
You are
know.
asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
My dad will be ashamed of this one. I haven't got a clue.
I imagine it's. I think it's still going.
Yeah.
When you said cricket, I was like, England? I didn't even know cricket had teams, to be honest.
For West Indies.
Swimming.
I can't swim. So
I'm not asking if you can swim. I'm saying who do you like that swims?
I'm not interested.
I can't do it. Not asked.
Yeah.
Not bothered, mate.
We have also got Maxwell Moore.
Yeah, go on,
To
say
the
hi,
left
Max.
Hello.
Max doesn't actually go to this uni. What's your favourite sport, Max?
It's rugby.
Do you follow any teams, or is it more of a casual fan?
I don't really follow teams, to be honest. I just kind of,
You play more than watch, don't you, Max?
yeah,
Who do you play for?
run into people.
Who do you play for?
You can't see this because we've not got video for this one, but Max is an absolute unit of a man. So, like, he's not wrong when he says he just runs into people.
In fact, I think we over exaggerate how you're a big guy, but everyone who asks me how big is he, I'm like, oh, he's like 6'6" or something. He's 6'6" and he looks like an actual brick. And really,
We say all this in the nicest way
no,
possible, Max. We all love you to bits.
and really, he's like 5'9", and there's
I'm not
nothing.
5'9".
I would say I'm 5'9". At a push.
I'm not 6.
But go on, who do you play for? Sorry, Max.
Filed.
And
Near St. Anne's.
Sounds. Tell us a bit about Filed. Where'd you play?
In prop, which is like basically front row of the scrum.
I was awful at rugby. I avoided rugby like the absolute plague when I was at school.
I was always, I enjoyed football. Was not good at it, but I enjoyed it.
My school didn't even do football.
Is it not?
No,
Oh,
literally.
God, what
in
school didn't do
Was your
football?
school backwards?
Oh, it was private school.
You didn't even
wasn't
get to play five-a-side?
Private school.
Oh, we did it like at break and like on the car park.
Not
and
in PE?
No, none of that.
Oh, I bet your school's like badminton and stuff like that, wasn't it?
That was a PE option. I don't think it was a games option. Games out.
Synchronized diving.
Our winter sports. Our winter sports were hockey, rugby, and I don't know if there was another one. And then in summer it was athletics or cricket.
And what was your speciality? What's your go-to sport?
What, at school or in general?
I'd
say football because I like football. I like playing. it.
Yeah. Oh, you.
Yeah, no, I used
yeah.
to play football. I used to play outside of school because there wasn't a school team. Got player of the season one year, and that should tell you more about the rest of the team than it does about me.
I was gonna say, I've seen you play football.
Oh yeah, it's.
And if
it's
you
up
were getting player of the year, there is something wrong.
I feel like it was. They called it player of the season to make me feel better, but I feel like it was definitely one of those most improved. Well done, James.
I was gonna say, I
Was
got.
it like with a bunch of like 2-year-olds?
I think I was actually older because I'd got friends in the year below me, and they were still young enough. Like we'd gone through the years, and they were still playing. And we went to the people running it, and my mum was like, James's friends are like still there. Can he come? And my mum was literally like, he's not that good, so it's not like it's going to be unfair. Is it okay? And they looked at me, realised who I was, and went, yeah, go on. I think it'll be fine. He's not going to outrun any of them.
It said a lot about my sporting ability that when I started playing, I was like, oh, striker, bag them goals. And then I think within the space of about 4 games, I went from striker to winger to defensive midfielder to a right-footed left back.
I was always like, literally every sport I played at, like when I played hockey at high school as well, I've always been right back, right wing back in particular, because I'm not good, but I can run. Like I've got pace on me I'm a sprinter. So I could hoof it up the pitch, or hoof it into midfield, sprint all the way up to like the right wing to receive it again, and then cross it back into the box. That was like my go-to move.
I was very much a Yakubu of Sunday League. And if you don't know who Yakubu is, he was a striker for Everton, and he did not run anywhere. He would very much just stand still, and when the ball came to him, he'd kick it at the goal, and that is about as athletic as he got. And that was me in
What a
Sunday
man
League.
he was.
Yeah,
What a
maybe
man.
that's why they wouldn't let me play up front, because Sunday League strikers are very much about being the fastest kid on the pitch, and you hoof it as far as you can and hope that he makes it before it goes out. Whereas if you hoof it to me, if it doesn't hit me like directly, if the ball genuinely doesn't just bounce off me somewhere, I'm not moving.
There was a kid like that in my football, like not my team, because I'm assuming like when you play, Max, you don't play the same people each week, do you? There's a league, and you go to As was because again, this tells you the kind of team I was playing for. It was all very friendly, so like everyone went to what was called Perrywoods, and then inside Perrywoods there was loads of different teams, and then we had leagues just all internally. So like you'd play the same people a few times. It was all very in-house kind of thing. But there was a lad on one of the teams, and bear in mind, I think I would have been year 6, year 7, and this dude must have been like sort of 5'10", 6 foot. Like he was absolutely massive. And every year he got put on a different team, and no matter what team it was, he got put centre back, the ball would come to him and he would just absolutely hoof it up the other side of the pitch. To the point where, like, literally, if it got anywhere near this lad who's called Toby, he was like, just move. Just get out the way of him because he will not stop.
If he doesn't boot the ball,
He's booting you.
Sending you across the field. But yeah, I didn't play rugby, but I used to go and watch Max when we were in college, and it was hard to watch because he's the nicest person ever. So if he hit someone, like tackled them, he'd get up and apologise. And then by the end of sixth form, I think it was kind of just like screamed out of you that you don't apologise to them. But like, I don't think you've not got any bigger in like 5 years. You've always just been this unit, like Lenny from Of Mice and Men, and like,
I've had many nicknames.
and then Max's nickname is also Big Bird. There's no reason behind it. He's just called Big Bird. But so like he'd get the ball and you'd see him running, and then because obviously the rugby team could be anyone from year 9 up into the end of sixth form, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And then you'd see this tiny little winger who's about 5'2".
That would be me.
He's a year 9, like it's his first game, and then Max just steamrolls through him. And no joke, there was one time and some kid, like, he jumped into the tackle because Max was that big, that's so much bigger than him. Like, you had to jump to try and reach anything to do with his body. And he jumped into him, and he just got bounced. And no joke, I saw this kid. You are?
I think I actually remember that. I tripped up on him. Didn't
You did. But like, no, I thought he'd killed him. Like this kid got bounced so far, and he just led there. Like, I felt so. I don't think he ever played again. That must have put the fear in him. Like, if he's still playing to this day, hats off to the lad. But
Literally one of like the few rugby experiences I remember was I was still in primary school, and they were like, right, we're going to play this other school. They've got like 4 or 5 teams. We don't have that many teams, so we're going to make up a 5th team. And it was all like, if you have to make up a team to go play someone, you know the kind of people who are on that team, i.e. me. And I just remember, like, I turned up to the pitch because it was an away game for us.
just before you carry on, just because no one can actually see you, describe yourself. Like, what is it about you that wouldn't make a rugby player, James?
Well, I think it's just I'm so physically intimidating. They don't want to put me on the pitch. No, I am a 5'8", weedy, specky little lad, okay? Not your typical rugby player. But yes, we rock up at this school, and no one else looks like me on this pitch. They're all the complete other end of the scale, where they're just fat. Like, not to be rude, but they were. They were the chubby kids.
Big Bird's game plan.
And I remember, this is all I remember of the game, turning up and being like, oh God, what am I doing here? And scoring a try by like diving down, putting it on, being really proud of myself for a second before I didn't see what happened, but I can only assume one of them literally just jumped and like bombed on me, like just landed on my back, and I felt every bone in my back just, I was like, I'll never walk again.
I enjoyed rugby in, like, throughout PE and stuff, and that was mainly because I was always, I got, like, for some reason, when we started GCSE, you had set 1, you had set 2, and like, I probably wasn't good enough to be in either of the sets, but my mates were in set 1, so I kind of just stuck with them. I think everyone just kind of went, oh, bless him, let him stick about. And then it came to it, and then they came in and went, who's not doing GCSE PE? And I was like, no, man, I'm doing drama. the real physical lesson. And they went, right, okay, go to set 2. I was like, fair enough. So I went to set 2, and then this sums up set 2. Was in rugby. There was about 6 different lads in the class. Luckily, not one. Well, I say luckily, it's quite unlucky that one of them wasn't me. But you weren't allowed to tackle them, so it was full contact rugby for everyone except for the odd person. And if they got the ball, the most you could do is tap them on the arm. But me and Max went to.
Why was that a rule for some people?
Because like, you think you're quite a weedy guy. Like, these guys were even smaller and were like stick thin.
Right. Okay.
And like, if you hit them, they'd break. But me and Max went to quite a. It wasn't great, was it? I won't name it, but it wasn't great. So we were all quite horrible. So we would just clatter them anyway. Knowing that we're not allowed, they'd get it. We'd make sure we'd throw the ball to them. And then there were genuinely some people where you'd be on their team and you'd purposely give them the ball just because you know someone like Max is going to come eat them alive. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't one of the ones. Like, everyone was allowed to hit me.
Yeah. Did you play much, Harry? Like
that's
yeah,
probably the sport I was best at.
rugby.
Yeah.
I've seen you play football.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't football.
Mate, no one was shining on that day at football. Come on.
Yeah, we've all seen each other play football once, and we rocked up with 3 bottles of wine each, and we've been out all day. And it was decided last minute. We were all there.
Yeah.
We were all there in skinny jeans and shirts.
And it was pitch black. You couldn't see the ball, let alone kick it.
I thought, I used to think of myself, I'm all right. I can dabble in football. And then, no joke, we played a game of, what is it, like cuppies or something like that? You're going like 2s, and then if you score, you go through.
Yeah.
And I think I chased one ball about 10 yards, and I thought I was going to be sick. Like, I was honest, I was wheezing at the side of the thing.
I didn't realise like how much I've deteriorated. Like, I've not played sports properly since high school, and we're now in 3rd year of uni. It's one of them, like, you don't realise how much you kind of need to keep practicing and just how much you just forget what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, just to clarify, me and James are both on the same, we're both 3rd years.
We are.
At the
3rd years at University of Salford.
Yeah. Media and performance students. Says a lot about our physical prowess. We couldn't play sports, so now we act like we can.
We weren't even physical enough to act on stage. We had to go to camera.
Exactly, yeah. We needed many takes to get anything good to come out of us. Well,
Literally,
4 or 5.
I did a short film for one of our other housemates recently, and my role was literally,
To run.
when we call action, sprint after them. And it was horrible. We did like one take, literally the first one. Well, I'm fuming because it wasn't even a take. Apparently the cameras weren't rolling, but they went, right, yeah, action. So I just started sprinting, and it had been raining a bit in the park. And it was one of them where I felt my foot go and went, I can't catch myself. I was going, I tripped and fully rolled over, like went proper arse over tit. And I was just lying on the ground and I heard the director be like, James, you okay? Yeah. Are you hurt? No. Just your pride? Yeah.
You weren't flying.
It was
man.
bad,
You were-
yeah.
I was going to say, Harry was also in that film, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You guys do a lot of running as well, to be fair.
You're hilarious in that
Oh.
film.
Yeah, I died when I went home. Like, I thought the heart attack was happening at 20.
Oh, it's the look. Obviously, like, it's acting. It's not his genuine expression, but the expression on Harry's face as he's like running through the park is incredible.
I don't think he was acting.
No, that's like the most running I've done in like 10 years.
I used to like I said earlier, in summer at school it was athletics or cricket. I can't stand cricket, so I went and did athletics, and I was always sprinter, 100 meters, 110 hurdles. That's all I really did. I'd rock up through them for like I'd do it once, and then just sit on the field. But even doing 100 meters, I'd finish it and be like, whew, bit out of breath from that. And they were like, "Do you want to move up to 200?" I went, "I think I'll die, honestly, sir. I think I might die."
I think I know the pinpoint of when I thought, okay, sports not for me, acting is definitely the one. And that was when I lived in Cyprus, and they went, all right, okay, we're going to do the 400 meter, and apparently it's a 400 meter sprint.
This is I was literally just about to say that. It was the first time they went 400 meters sprint. I went, "That's cross country, isn't it? 400 meters."
Yeah. But I took that deadly serious, and I was an idiot. So do you know when you're running like 400 meters, when at the start line and it curves round, so everyone starts
Yeah.
one starts further out. But I started on the far end, and I chose that purposefully. I thought, head start, lovely stuff. Forgetting that the track bends in, and then sooner or later you are dead last. And so I was there, and I was like, oh, I got this. Like, it's 400 meters for them. It's about 320 for me. And no joke, I started sprinting as fast as I could. It's Cyprus, so it's boiling hot. And I must have got about 150 meters into it, and I realised, oh, I'm dead last. And I was dying. So what I did was the most over-exaggerated fall and acted like I'd passed out. And made it even more embarrassing that people actually believed me. And someone came over and went, "Do you want to finish anyway?" And no joke, my dad was at this event and everything, right? And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll finish it." And they put the arm around the shoulders and they carried me to the finishing line.
Oh, mate.
And no joke, I was tired, but I wasn't that tired. I had to act like I was absolutely dying. And they carried me over this finishing line, and absolutely no one cared. Like, nobody cared. And yeah, and that's when I was like, acting's the one, I think.
You finish, you just walk off fine.
Oh, mate, it was horrendous. Like, honestly, that's maybe the most embarrassing moment of my entire life.
Yeah, I'm not, like we said, I'm not sports orientated. I think that was probably a very disappointing moment in my dad's life.
We're not really selling a sports podcast when all we can really talk about is how bad at sports we are.
We'll still mention sports. We'll talk about like supporting it in a sec. 'Cause I think that's mainly what we thought we'd talk about more is like the supporting it. 'Cause you're a die-hard Everton fan.
I am.
Through and through. Your whole family are, aren't they?
They are. We've all got. Except my mum. We've all, no, my mum's a fan, but we've all got the badge tattooed on us. I get a lot of stick for that. Someone once, right? They said, "Have you got any tattoos?" And I only had one at the time. Like I've got loads now. I've only got two now. I only had one at the time. And I went, "Oh yeah, I've got a tattoo." And they went, "Is it nice?" And I went, "Oh yeah." Like I thought, like it's the best choice I've ever made. Like it's my 18th birthday present. I got it a couple of days before I turned 18. And then, "What is it?" And I went, "Oh, I'll just show you it." And I got the Everton badge out. And this girl's response was literally, "I bet you'd beat your wife." Yeah, like that was the response I got, and I was like, it's from then I've been like, maybe the tattoo's not that great.
Thing is, it's like because I've told a few people that like, oh yeah, my friend's got the Everton badge tattooed on him, and like they all give the reaction of oh, and like on its own it does sound like that, but like the fact that you, your dad, your brother, you've all got the badge in the same place. Yeah, it's like I think that's quite a nice thing that is like it's your family have done that together because football's your thing together. I quite like it. It's one of them tattoos on their own are rarely nice, but if there's a nice story behind them, I'm like, you know what, fair enough for that one.
It's also I'm not creative enough to fix my own tattoo, so I've got two, and the first one, obviously my dad got it first, and my brother got it, and I was like, oh, I want one, so I'll just get that. And the second one I got it. Well, I booked in when I was. I don't know if I can say this. 'Cause I had to sign a form saying that I wasn't. I was very drunk, and then I booked in and went and got it done. Like, and it was the exact same as my brother's. Like on his arm.
Is that a thing? You have to sign a form saying you weren't drunk when you
Saying that
signed up for it.
No, that you haven't been drinking that day.
Oh, okay.
And like, maybe see, hats off to me being an actor again because I was steaming when I was
I'm
signing that
surprised
form.
They can't be that strict with that because you hear stories of people getting drunk tattoos all the time.
Yeah, but that's usually when they're on holiday.
Oh yeah, true.
But this was quite like a professional place. Like it's only like a couple lines, and it cost me like 60 quid. It was quite expensive.
This is the other thing, like
That was like
with,
minimum charge.
yeah, with tattoos, it's like it hurts. It's permanent. I don't like the same thing for long enough for it to be worth it, and I just look horrendous with a tattoo. Like we said, I'm not your typical sports person. I would just look ridiculous with a tattoo. Would either of you two ever get a tattoo, Harry or Max? Would you ever get a tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Max wants a sleeve.
Yeah, I want to get a full sleeve.
What are you thinking of?
I've got something like on my phone at the moment that I've had it for a while, so I can like look at it and then be like, do I still like this? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get it and just be like,
What is it?
it's like it's quite hard to describe. It's got like a Greek, because I'm quite into like
Mythology. Yeah.
bit. But yeah, it's just like got a Zeus face.
I would
like,
not take you as a mythology man, Max. I've known you for.
It's because he's seen the
Long
Greek gods and he's
time.
like, that's just me. I look like that.
No, like it's God of War.
Yeah.
That's what got me into it. And
Oh,
then I was
God.
like, I don't know much about it. It's not like I'll sit there and research it, but
Well, me,
I do quite like it.
me and Harry discussed for a while of getting like a matching one, but we don't.
Have we?
We've always been drunk.
Oh, well, yeah.
I remember these conversations, Harry. Don't worry.
You know my memory. It's,
We don't really like the same things, kind of. Like I know your first tattoo idea was like a band, wasn't it? You wanted to
yeah.
have a logo.
What band?
Churches.
Okay, fair dues.
So he was like, "Oh, I want to get Churches because they're my favorite band." And I was like, "Yeah, I want Big Sexy in Japanese."
Please tell me
yeah.
you're joking.
No, I've even got a screenshot of what Big Sexy in Japanese is, and it just looks like loads of smiley faces. But the thing is, because it's in Japanese, if someone said to me, "What does it say?" I'd be like, "Knowledge, just
Love and peace.
yeah." Peak.
That Ariana Grande thing, right?
What's that?
She's got a new tattoo, but it says like chicken soup. Or something. I can't remember what it says exactly, but it's meant to be what her album is or something.
Chicken soup.
It says something like
Chicken
that,
soup.
When you,
Yeah,
You could get pot noodle.
Oh, mate, that's a shout.
For those who don't know, literally, I've lived with Joel for the past 2 years, and I've not seen him ever eat anything in the house that's not a pot noodle or a ready meal. You're not a big cook, are you, Joel?
I'd love to disagree. But I don't think I can.
So like, here's a general. Like, do you guys? We've spoken a bit about playing. Do you prefer playing or like following sport?
Oh, I love playing, but I don't know, it's one of them. As soon as I came to uni, like, we used to play football football Friday, and that was just like five-a-side kickabout, and we'd be there for like 3 hours, and there was never a score line. It was just
Yeah.
go for glory, kind of.
Yeah. What about you guys? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I used to do that, but as soon as we came to uni, like we don't really play anything.
Yeah.
I didn't show up in first year enough to find anyone to play football with. But yeah, so I'd say I prefer following it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, defo following.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing like celebrating a last-minute Benteke header into the top corner.
Benteke's not scored in about 2 years.
Yeah.
You've been waiting a while to celebrate one of them.
What about you, Max?
Yeah, I definitely prefer playing than watching.
Yeah. Do you support a football team?
I used to say I supported Liverpool, but it was just kind of to have one.
Yeah, I was a bit like that. Like when I was young, my dad came to me and he was like, "Right, so do you want to start like following football? Do you want to pick a team?" I went, "Yeah, go on then." And he was like, "Who do you want to support?" And I went, "England." He went, "No, James, that's not how it works. That's not how it doesn't normally work." I was like, "Oh, well, what teams are there?" And he went, "Well, your Uncle Ken and David support Manchester United." And I was just in the mindset of, I don't want to hear him rattle them off and make a choice. I went, "Yep, I'll follow them." So I used to like, air quotes, support Manchester United for a while. And I used to get called a glory hunter all the time because I'm from Birmingham. But it was like, oh, I'm not a glory hunter. I'm just lazy. I couldn't be asked for my dad to list off a load of teams. But it was definitely a case of, if they were on TV, I wouldn't watch. If my dad got tickets to a game, I might go. But I just follow the scores. I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah. Speaking of England, quick change up. What do we think of the World Cup?
Just gone.
Just gone, yeah.
Incredible, mate. I'm not a sports fan, and I got really into it. Not really into it, but I really enjoyed it. It was one of them. It was like, it's just nice to watch someone win for once, to be
I
honest.
was going to say, yeah. The big question, I've seen a lot of people asking it and stuff like, do you think it's like, I don't want to say a fluke, but a lot of people complain about, it wasn't that great because we've got quite an easy run.
You can only beat.
You can only beat who's
who
in front of you, can't you?
yeah.
But I don't think I've ever been more devastated, except for one time with a sport, than that semi-final. Just for how late Mandzukic's goal was.
It was rough.
Yeah. Luckily, I was too smashed to care.
Oh, but the thing,
But
I was so drunk, it just made me more angry. Like, it could have gone either way. I could have been so drunk that I didn't care. But I was drunk enough to be like, no, I hate it. And I walked home. I went home. I just left.
I've seen you when like Everton have lost. Like you proper. Like I don't want to say go in a mood because it's not like you sulk. You are just like, no, it's not funny. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, it's one. I'm one of them where I'm a fairly casual fan, except for
the two tattoos you've got.
Yes. And no, I mean like casual fan in general of football. So I follow the Premier League as a whole.
Oh right, yeah.
But then when it comes to Everton, it's like they genuinely ruined my day, like every single time.
I remember Liverpool, Everton, when we was in the SU.
Mate.
You were very unhappy, to say the least.
Well, that's another time where I walked out the building because they scored in the 90th minute, and we didn't stay for the end of the game, did we? Because as soon as it went in, I went, oh, I'm done. And I walked home. I can't.
Didn't you? Because England Panama was on your birthday this year. Both of your 20th birthdays, Harry and Joel share a birthday.
Yeah.
And was it you that had a bet on for loads of different things to happen in the game?
Yeah, and 3 of them came through.
But like you were missing by one, weren't you?
No, the ones on my birthday, they all came through, but I was betting in play, so it was for like Harry Kane to bag a hat trick, and then that one didn't like it was coming through, and then Harry Kane's hat trick was someone had a shot,
Oh yeah.
and it hit him and just went in, and he claimed it.
Because
Fair enough.
I thought you missed out on one because you then
Yeah, there
tweeted
was.
one of the football players, didn't you?
Yeah, there was. It was who was it against? It was against.
I could have sworn it was on your birthday because I swear you tweeted him saying, "Thanks, mate, you've ruined my birthday."
Oh God, yeah, it was. Oh yeah, so basically all of it came through. It was for like Eric Dyer to do some, Harry Kane to score twice, and then Kyle Walker, who was a centre back, to make 2 tackles.
Oh,
He didn't make a single tackle. I wish I'd try to find the tweet now, but I'd be going through it for a long time. But
cheers, mate. Kids crying.
but it was like it wasn't like a long tweet. It was just telling him that I hated him, that he should never wear the England shirt again. How much money I lost out on. But then at the end I put, But I'm loving life right now, so congratulates on the win. Like,
You know the Everton Liverpool game you said about?
yeah.
Was that the one where the loser had to buy the opposite person's?
No, that was Everton Crystal Palace.
Oh, that was start of the season. We still need to do that.
Yeah.
So me and Harry
Yeah,
had a bet on that when Everton played Crystal Palace. I'm an Everton fan. Harry's a Palace fan. And we went and watched it in Beer Keller. So we were having a few drinks. We were like trying to think of forfeits, and they were all terrible. And then we went, how about we just the loser has to wear the opposition's kit on a night out?
Did we ever decide if it was full kit? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't lose, so I can let everyone else choose. It's Harry.
It's one of them.
1-2-1.
Full kit would be absolutely hilarious, but also, what nightclub's going to let someone in a full kit?
Pop World.
Pot World might, to be fair.
Well, Pop World in Blackpool would. I don't know about the one in Manchester.
Need studs and all. Like,
Oh, yeah, mate.
Oh, if you're doing it all, you're doing it all. Your shin pads and everything.
Captain's armband.
If not, I'm sure. Where would let us in? Even like pubs would be a bit. Pubs would be a bit reluctant. Like come on now, full Everton kit. Also, in Manchester,
It'd be bloody
full
cold.
Everton kit. You know, Scousers and all that. They might not be a big fan. You never know. But
You had a
fancy.
slightly more positive Twitter experience with a football player on your birthday, didn't you, Joel?
oh, I did. Big man Billy Key,
Have you not heard about this?
Accrington Stanley's star striker. We found him on FIFA, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I don't know what we were doing, but
I think it's because I'm awful at FIFA, and Joel, you're quite good because you play quite a
Yeah.
lot. So we were seeing if Joel could beat me playing as like Barcelona while he's playing as Accrington, and you scored so many goals with this like their striker Billy Key.
I think Billy Key scored about 6 in that game. And then we were like, it's like one of them, like because we were quite drunk at the time, so we proper like fanboyed over it, over scoring with someone on FIFA, and we were like, oh no, we need to make this a thing. So we followed him on everything. Like we went and found him, and he's quite funny to be fair.
He is, to be fair.
quite
He
funny
seems a
guy.
nice guy. He seems really
Yeah.
nice. Let's get him on the podcast.
And then it was on my birthday, and I didn't even realise. I don't think I got my phone out the entire day. And then I woke up the following morning, and I had a notification on Twitter. I checked it, and it was Billy Key saying, "Happy birthday, lad! Hope you have a great day," with a love heart. And I was like,
No way.
"What's happening?"
The actual
I was
Billy
like-
Key.
I was like, "What is going on?" And then it turns out James on a different Twitter account had been begging him the entire day.
No, the weird thing is, like, I tweeted him once saying, "Oh, it's my mate's birthday. He's a big fan. It's his 20th. Could you wish him happy birthday?" I then could have sworn I checked your Twitter, but I must have checked your tweets or his tweets, not his replies.
But then you got really drunk, didn't you? And you were sending him that proper soppy message saying, "Please, his birthday's nearly over. You've not said it yet. Don't ruin his big
I was about to say,
face."
come on, you can still make his day. I tweeted all those after he tweeted Joel happy birthday. So he was been sat there be like, what the hell is this guy on about? I've already wished him happy birthday once.
Was it on your actual Twitter? Or did you...
No, I have a second account that I used to tweet famous people.
Fanboy.
Yeah.
There's a
No, it's
fanboy
because like
account.
I like doing that. I like it if I ever get any kind of interaction with the famous people I know, but I also don't want to spam like your timeline with it.
Yeah. Have you had any interaction?
Yeah, I've had a reply off one like on that Always Open podcast. The guy
Yeah.
who like does their drinks and comes on and chats a little bit. I got a reply from him. I've had a few likes off the Rooster Teeth people. No proper replies off the big ones. Just one minute. Oh no, I did get kind of a reply. You know, that Rahul Kohli I was telling you about.
Yes.
He's an actor in iZombie, and he's also done a few things with Rooster Teeth. I think he's a big Liverpool fan, and he once tweeted something about like I think he put a picture of his door that got like a dent in it or something. And he was like, "Oh, Liverpool makes me so angry," like that. So I just tweeted him the GIF from the British Office of Ricky Gervais being like, "Oh, you're hard," and he replied to it with another GIF. I can't remember which one it was. I was like, "Oh my god, so like, this is what it's like to be famous." Like quite a few of the people like saw his reply and my reply and were liking it. I was like, "Well, you know, I'll remember you all when I'm big, guys. Don't worry."
I think the
How
old,
signed or fake?
Yeah.
other than Billy Key, I think the only famous interaction I've got on Twitter was with Luke Shaw,
Oh,
Man United's left back, and it's
I remember
because
this one.
I was playing FIFA, and then I came against a team, and there was a special card in the corner that no one else could get, and it was Luke Shaw, it was like a 95 overall purple card. And then I clocked onto it, I was like, they're the cards that FIFA give to the famous players if they've got a team. So they send them, they like email them or something, and they'll send it, they'll just put this card into their account. And I was like, oh my god, I'm playing Luke Shaw. So I started spamming him with like invites to come and join this party that we were in.
I actually think I was in that party as well.
You probably were. So and he joined it, and we were there, and we were like, we don't believe you. So we started saying like, oh, if you're real, like these tweets and stuff. So he started liking all these tweets, and he started like he replied to us once.
That's
And
it.
he was basically just telling us to calm down. And then, but he didn't speak the entire time in the party. He was just playing like house music. And then right at the end, he went, "All right, boys, see you later." And we all just lost we just lost it. We were screaming.
Well, that's very cool, to be fair.
Yeah, but he beat me on FIFA, so I was fuming.
Oh.
Beat me 2-1. Yeah, because he had this pro player card. Had like 99 everything. He's a left back, and he put it up front. Sweatiest player ever played him. And he's
Disgusting that.
so it's not been the same. We don't speak no more. No, I invited him to another party, and he joined again. To be fair, he joined a few of them, but he just never spoke. He just sit there and play music, and then he got injured. And it sounds really bad, but he got quite a bad injury. And I remember we were just in a party one day, and our mate, who's a United fan, like said, "Oh, he's injured. He's out for like a few months." And I was like, "Oh, that's bad for him." I was like, "It's gonna be an Xbox more though." But yeah, he never joined a party again.
Oh. So, like you guys, like we said before, you're a massive Everton fan, Joel. Harry, you're a massive Crystal Palace fan. Would you rather watch Everton or Crystal Palace on TV, or go and watch United or City live?
Everton on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry?
I love a live game.
This is what I mean. I'm not
Yeah.
that into football, but
yeah, I just love the atmosphere.
yeah. So
Like,
you'd go watch a
I'd
bigger team live.
Yeah, I'd happily just for the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, no, like, because like I'm, like you've said before, like, oh, can we go watch the Everton game in Beer Keller? I was like, yeah, I'll go
Yeah.
along. Like, I've definitely got more into just casually watching sports since living with you, but I actually had a great time on your birthday when we went to watch your local team game.
Oh, AFC filed.
Yeah, just 'cause it was just a good, like you said, the atmosphere of a live game is just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I've never been a big fan other than filed, because they're never going to play it anyway. I've never been a big fan of going to watch other teams live if Everton aren't involved.
You're not?
No, I'm not a fan of that. I don't know. I just sit there and like,
Feels like cheating.
yeah, it does. Like no joke. There's guilt there. Like, I want to go watch Salford play. We still need to go do that because
Yeah.
they're doing all right. And did David Beckham just buy into
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
He's just invested money in. But
Got a
David
show.
Beckham.
They've signed David Beckham.
No. But no, it's him, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, Phil Neville, and is it Nicky Butt as well?
Yeah.
And then so they've all invested in Salford, and then Beckham's just come and invested, but he's also got Miami
Into Miami. Innit?
into Miami.
What,
Yeah.
What a poor name that is.
Well, someone said to me, they were like, "Is that not illegal? Because surely apparently you can't have shares or own two, like, because is he now an owner of him, or is he just a
I think they're shareholders.
yeah?
Is he like a majority shareholder?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if he's majority. I think the rest of them
They have
contribute
like
more.
20% each.
Yeah, and
Um,
then but someone said like, is it not?
Like a conflict of interest. Kind
Yeah,
of
like
thing.
you can't have two teams. But then when you think about it,
They're never gonna
America
play
and
each
England, they're
other.
not even in the same continent, so I don't think it counts. I don't think you can own
Yeah.
two English clubs at the same time, but because
Yeah.
very different parts of the world, I think it
Yeah.
because he's the full owner of Inter Miami, isn't he? Or I'm sure he's got
Yeah,
investors.
well, it's
obviously,
two
but-
associations, isn't it? There's the US Association and the FA. So I
yes,
guess,
that was it. So yeah, because America's obviously not within the effort. Yeah. That's what
How much does the owner actually do? How much would an owner actually impact a club?
It depends on how they run it. Because
I know. Go on.
At Palace, there's two American shareholders. Like they own it, but they don't put any money
Yeah.
in. But Steve Parish, who has owned it since 2010, he's like the chairman.
Right.
So I think you can own it, make money from it, put money into it. But there'll be a chairman who runs things.
Yeah. But like, do they have any say in like signings, like running it or anything like that?
It's weird, like because I know recently, Sarri, Chelsea's manager,
Yeah.
they signed Higuain recently, and he's the manager, so he's the one who picks the team and all that. He has, you'd imagine the say of everything that goes on to do with the squad. And then a commentator said, not a commentator, an interviewer said to him like, "Oh, is the Higuain deal happening?" And he went, "Well, I didn't even know we were like properly signing him." Like, he said, "I have no say. Like everyone, like it's not even the owner; it's the other people. People make decisions for him. It's like
Yeah.
he doesn't have full control of his own team, which he wasn't. I don't think he was. Sorry, I don't think he was too happy with it, but I don't know. I think it's just
Chelsea are
weird.
just a franchise now, aren't they?
Mm.
They're not like a proper team.
United are a bit like that, aren't they? Man United. I swear I've heard them be like called a franchise before.
Yeah, they're like under the radar.
Yeah.
Like
So I feel like
yeah.
United has a lot of international fans as well, doesn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, United and Liverpool, but Liverpool's owner is also he owns one of the baseball teams, isn't he?
Does he?
I'm
Oh,
sure
was
he
it
does.
Red Sox?
I think it might
Boston?
be. Yeah.
And apparently Arsenal have just gone international with China. That
Oh,
video,
God.
like for those, have you seen this video, Harry?
no.
It's awful.
Was it for
Like
the Chinese New Year.
yeah, something for like Chinese New Year. And I think they might have just played in China because there was a thing about thanks for supporting us or something. But it's like a handful of Arsenal players, and they're all like, they pop up on the screen and they like say these Chinese phrases, but it's like the most wooden, like awkward thing. It's like,
the editing is just chop.
Yeah,
chop,
it's
chop.
just really weird.
So weird.
and it's like I'm not gonna, I don't know any of the Chinese words, but say like it's the phrase of, thanks for supporting us. They come up with something like, thank you for supporting us. It's like, it's so awkward and horrible.
It's
It's
the most Arsenal thing I've ever heard. That one. Have you seen that chant from Man City fans in America? They do it to the tune of Baby Shark. And it's like Raheem Shark doo doo doo
Oh
doo
my
Raheem
God.
Shark doo doo. I've just seen that like an hour ago.
Oh,
It's just
God.
There are so
That's
many
shocking.
compilations of like the difference between English football fans and their chants compared to American ones and their chants. And I mean, it's hard to watch like them chanting for their team, and then you get the English ones, and there's some witty chants. Like
yeah, yeah.
when the World Cup was on, like every other day there was a new chant for England, and they were like Gareth Southgate's.
What's been your favourite chant you've heard?
Oh, I don't know. I love all the ones where people just insulting Liverpool. I quite enjoy them. Like when Gerrard slipped. What a day! What a day!
But yeah, like we said, like this is going to be a very chilled out podcast, just talking. But we have got a few segments that we want to do each week, haven't we, Joel?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So
like an unpopular sport.
yeah, unpopular opinions. So the first one, I asked anyone out there to tweet us or message us any unpopular opinions. We got a couple. Not all of them too useful. One of my friends literally just messaged me like, hang on, I'll get it up. But a lot of them, I don't think they messaged me seriously. I think they were more just trying to have me on. But where was it? Just got a message off my one friend. Football has the worst fans. That's it. That's what he thought we could talk about on this show. But to be fair, I was thinking, you've got a few stories of like, you've told me stories of just horrendous football fans. Like just, you were saying, like, there's certain, what was the team you were saying where they were like, the fans will go to fight and they think that fighting is part of football?
Well, that was when my dad used to be a ball boy for Everton when he was younger, and he was telling me stories of like he'd come out sometimes and there'd be ambulances everywhere because like some of the fans would go there to watch the team, but they'd schedule fighting people, and if they couldn't fight anyone, like he said, he'd seen people like I remember reading a book on it about an Everton fan who was a part of one of the gangs back in like the 80s, and then he got a lifetime ban. And to this day, he still buys a season ticket every year, but he's not allowed to use it. Like, he can't go in, but he still buys it, just in case someone like forgives him at some point. But like he said, like they'd go there to fight to the point where they'd be walking around the stadium before the game to find a fan in an opposition shirt, just so they can either go there and just beat them up, or they can go there and intimidate them. Like he said, the only way they'd let them off is if they were there with a child, and they go over, they'd speak to them or something. I remember he was telling like a story of like, there was a man there with his kid. So instead of like beating him up, they just embarrassed him. Like they stood there and they slapped him a few times in front of his kid just to be like, you're not a man and stuff like that. So it's like and that I agree with some people when they say like football fans are horrendous, because there are fans out there who are like I'd say in Russia, like how many videos
mad,
came
innit?
out?
Yeah,
like
mental, that.
most of them probably weren't even going to the game, but like, there were Russian fans who would just come from all angles and just attack fans. And, like to them, it's fighting. Like,
That's
not.
just lifestyle, isn't it? That's just
Yeah.
their past.
But it's like with the we went and watched. Well, we didn't go watch it like live because it was in Spain, but we went and watched the Boca Juniors River Plate game,
Oh
didn't we?
yeah, mad.
And that got
Yeah, mental,
postponed
yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
fans threw it was like bricks and rocks
like
and stuff at the
the
windows.
Tear gas was kicking about and all.
Yeah,
and
and then the
yeah,
Boca
yeah.
Junior players were all slashed and stuff, weren't they,
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
glass. And then the people turned around and went, right, okay, well, this game's been cancelled. Like, we'll do it in 2 weeks. And it got that bad that instead of doing it in Argentina where it was meant to be, they went, you can buy tickets and go watch it in Spain instead.
That's
Like,
mental.
Just because they knew the fans were it was gonna get too much to even like show the game.
Argentina football is just a different breed. Like,
I remember
it's
you
mental.
described it quite well. It's like it literally seems from the videos that this football game is life or death.
Yeah,
Like for the fans, it's
it's mad.
that's
That's
just
horrible.
I understand. Like I get
You get passionate.
I get I
guess
get
it
to the point
comes
where
from,
I can
like,
walk away, but like
Yeah,
to get aggressive and violent over any sport, I think
I
is
guess it comes
ridiculous.
from the
It's
poverty in Argentina, where they're just working constantly to support themselves, and football is the
Mm.
Football's their life.
Yeah,
Messi's Argentinian, isn't he?
yeah,
He is.
Yeah. Oh, got that one right. Sweet. But yeah, Joel. So what's your unpopular opinion that you've brought in?
Mine is just because I've had a few conversations because we live with most of the girls in our house, don't we?
Yes.
I don't know if it's all been with them, but I've heard a few people are adamant that dancing is a sport, and it's not.
You don't think dance is a sport?
I don't think dance is a sport at all because I think dance is very much like performing art, and
Yeah.
I do acting, but I wouldn't consider myself an athlete. Like see, that sounds quite bad. Like
No,
you can
I know
be,
what you
You can
mean.
be an athlete as a dancer because it takes a lot of like, hard work, and it is athletic.
It's physical, but I don't think that makes it a sport.
exactly yeah.
It's
And-
definitely like quite demanding as well.
It
Especially,
can be,
like,
yeah,
like, ballerinas.
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah, they
Oh,
absolutely trash their feet.
oh yeah. Like I'm not doubting that they put a lot of effort in, and it is like tiring physically as well. But like it comes under the same bracket, I think, as acting, and I'd never say what I do is a
because it's
sport.
performance. You're
Yeah.
performing a story, or
I think it's
interpreting,
performing arts,
whereas
isn't it?
That-
Sports is you have a goal.
Yeah,
You've got
that's
a-
the thing. Because
yeah.
they always say this. They're like, but you can compete in dance. It's like, just because you can compete at something doesn't make it a sport.
I think in that sense, in competition dancing, it might be a sport. Because if darts is a sport, then
Yeah,
See,
but
well, this is
darts-
my unpopular
yeah,
opinion
that
that
was
I brought
yours.
in is that I don't think darts is a sport.
But-
I don't think darts counts as a real
My
sport.
big argument for darts being a sport is that it has a Premier League.
yeah,
It has a league
I
table.
think there's if you have a goal in mind,
Like
you-
it's a
you-
point
you need- if
system
you
to
wanna
win the league
yeah,
in a tournament.
it
But I
counts as a sport.
I don't think it's physical enough to be a sport. Like you wouldn't. I get that. Like your argument, it has a league, and beer pong doesn't have a league, but beer pong has a goal. You're throwing stuff, but that's not a sport.
Yeah, but that's the big difference. So darts has a Premier League,
But it's so if someone
and it's also shown on Sky Sports.
if
Dancing's
someone
not.
set
Yeah.
up an official beer pong league, like people came in week out, would you then call beer pong a sport?
Yes, and I'd be good at it.
I just don't think darts is a sport. I don't think it's physical enough. I think it's just people get drunk and throw darts. Like it's don't
They're
get me wrong.
not allowed to drink anymore on stage.
Are they not?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, what's the point?
It genuinely has become a professional sport because they're not allowed to drink on stage anymore. They
I
have to
don't
have
know.
water.
Did you see that guy was just farting?
Yeah.
The other month. Like,
What?
what was it? Was it like semi-final or
I
something?
don't. I've only seen the interview. I don't know the context for it.
So I think it was the semi-final or something like that in the competition, and like the guy in the interview was like, yeah, he was farting all through the game, like.
It's like the interview was like, oh, because I've spoken to him and he said it was you. And went, oh no, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Definitely him.
That's not a bad
it
technique, to
stank.
be fair, though. That's not bad because you're in quite close quarter. You've got to go stand in the exact same spot to throw.
Yeah.
So if you just let one drop and it just kind of lingers when they're going to throw,
Yeah.
that's
Speak-
not a bad technique.
Speaking of getting like standing in the same spot, this is what I don't understand about darts. If that is your career, if that's all you do day in day out, how are you not getting 180 every time? Because with football, it's like it'll be different. The defenders will come at you a different way, but I don't get like the darts player. The board's not different. The distance isn't different. The darts aren't different. They're in the same situation every time, so they should be able to practice enough to get it right every time. Like I don't think a footballer should ever, like a striker should never miss a penalty. It can get saved.
Yeah, but
That's fair enough. But I don't think if that is a set piece, you should not be missing it.
But can you not then say the same about acting? Like, if you're a professional actor and that's all you do, how do you give a bad performance?
But you do different scenes each time. You do different scenes and you play different characters. It's not the exact same situation.
Mm.
It's like if a professional comedian came on and did their set and they got it completely wrong, I'd be like, it's like you should have practiced this set and got that right. Like I think when there's
Yeah, but
no
then again, with the set piece, especially like football, like a free kick or a corner, you come up against a different team every time.
free kick and corner, not so much. It's like penalties are the big one for that way. It's not different each time.
But then you've also got someone in front of you who can save it.
Oh no, like if it gets saved, that's fine. I mean, they should
mean
never miss the goal.
They should never miss. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. No, I don't think you should. If you get a penalty, the person who's nominated to take it like full time should never be missing the target. But I do get it when it comes to like penalties and you're like 10 pens deep and you get the keeper who has to stand up and take it. Like the keeper is not there to be.
It's more the strikers for that one that I'm on about.
But then again, I've always said the same thing about you're a professional footballer. How have you got this far and you can't hit the target?
Yeah.
To be fair,
like
the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like, that can. But even then, like, because it's the same. Like, I guess it's the same with darts though. Like, because the fans at darts, they're loud.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to go to the darts.
That'd be a shout.
at
to
some
be fair.
point,
Cracking, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of like going to places, this one like I thought of. Do any of you here like genuinely like I know particularly Joel and Harry you'd want to, but do you genuinely think in your life you'll ever go watch a World Cup game live? Like, do you think you'll ever actually plan it, do it, and be able to go?
I think I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not for a while. I think maybe in like 2 or 3 World Cups, like when I'm earning full
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
and
maybe
not living off a student loan and an overdraft.
The 2028 is it in LA? Oh no, 2026. Sorry, in LA, like America.
Oh, that
and all that.
That'd be a good one.
That's
That'd
America,
be-
Canada,
yeah.
and Mexico.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. I feel bad for the traveling because you got to play a game like every 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And if you're traveling like Canada to Mexico, to play the
Surely
next game,
they'll organise it better so you're
I mean,
not.
you'd like to think that once it goes to the knockout stages, how do you organise it then? Because you don't know who you play until
Yeah.
each game's done.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess
I'm sure they'll work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Play
I imagine.
by ear. Like.
I imagine they'll do the group stages for like certain teams. Like so, some people play probably maybe the full group stage in Mexico,
Yeah.
full group stage in Canada, and all that. And when it comes to the knockouts, they'll gradually just move it. Like the Euros
Yeah.
next year, they're doing it
It's
all over the place,
all
aren't
around
they?
Europe,
But then the final
semi-finals
and the finals are all
Wembley.
Wembley.
Yeah.
so they're keeping it in the same place, so there's no travelling,
Okay.
which I guess is quite smart.
Yeah.
But it's like you've got so many. You go for like a round of 16 and everything. Like you got so many teams coming in, and how do you then judge where they all play?
Yeah.
Because it goes from the group stage to you can play like, it's usually like Group A will play, the winners of Group A will play like the runners up of like Group D or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is I think it can't be that hard to work out if you know the order it's going to be
Yeah.
already.
But yeah, like we had this podcast all ready to go last week. We could have recorded last week, but you, Joel, you thought it'd be best to postpone it till after the Super Bowl so that we could talk a bit about that because all 4 of us sat together and watched the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Patriots, Rams.
Yeah. What did you guys think? Because I was disappointed.
The thing is, with me, I'm not a huge NFL fan. It's only recently I started like getting all the updates on the Patriots and stuff like that. So like the first one I watched was last year.
Yeah.
We watched it in the house, and that was good.
Yeah, that was a
And,
great game.
Yeah, and this year it was a lot. I don't know. It's one of them. I think if you're gonna follow a sport, you've got to appreciate everything. So I know, say with things like UFC, people watch a fight and go, "Oh, it's boring," because all he's done is wrestle the entire fight. But it's when you got to be able to appreciate every part of it. So like the defending in that Super
Yeah,
Bowl was
this is what you said, isn't it, Harry?
Yeah.
unreal.
To stop the top scoring team in the LA Rams from scoring a touchdown, even getting in the red zone.
They only got 3, didn't
Um,
Yeah, they didn't get a
Yeah,
single touchdown.
yeah,
They only
yeah.
got a field
they? What
goal.
was it?
Um,
Was it 10-3?
13-3.
13-3.
Yeah. To to get them like I don't even think they got within 20 meters of the touchdown line, something like that.
Oh,
It's
Was
mad.
it that far? I thought they got to inches at one point.
No.
that
Oh
was,
no,
that
they threw
was-
it into the end zone, but then it was an incomplete.
yeah,
catch,
it
yeah.
was,
But to do that, just mental for the Patriots.
yeah, the Patriots
keep
got
them in
inches
bay.
for their
Yeah.
for their first. Well, they only got 1 touchdown themselves.
It's
Yeah.
one of them, like, it's impressive. You can appreciate afterwards, but it just wasn't entertaining to watch.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get.
That's the
fans.
problem. And it's like,
But,
if that were just a game, then fair enough. But for the Super Bowl, the final of the
Yeah.
league,
I guess
for
it's one
that
of
to
them
be how it ends, it's
because
just a bit...
it's the only game that we'll sit down and watch the entire
Yeah.
thing. Obviously, you have like big hopes for it, but we it's still a good night because obviously we don't. It's because we only watched the one game. We make a bit of a deal out of it, so we all had like a few drinks and just like sat and spoke about it. So
Yeah.
good night.
It's one of them, like, I feel like I enjoyed the game more last year, but
Yeah.
that's... Well, I say that, but, like, I'm an Eagles fan. I don't watch that much, but I'll follow their scores each week in, week out and that.
Last year, didn't
Yeah, and they won, so, like, it was obviously great to watch them win, but, like, because suddenly I'm used to just watching sports very casually, like watch Everton play. I'm like, yeah, whoever wins, whatever. Because I actually cared about this one, and it was so close. It was more tense than anything. Like I was just like I wanted to celebrate when they won. I was more just like, I'm more relieved that it's over now.
We also had the thing last year of I followed the Patriots, you
Yeah.
followed
Eagles.
Yeah, so it was like it wasn't just, it was more like a bragging right kind
Yeah.
of thing as well. So that was quite
Which
cool.
we won. So.
Have you boys got any unpopular? Sorry to spring it up on you, but have you boys got any unpopular sporting opinions?
Jose Mourinho didn't do a bad job at United. I don't know whether that's unpopular, but like
I think
he gets slated so much, but they finished. They won the Europa League, won the FA Cup.
He won titles. Sorry, I looked down at my phone then because
Yeah.
I put an Instagram post out earlier on saying that a club made me skint, and the first message back is, "You're already skint."
Who was that?
Jack.
That's just horrible. That.
In fairness, he's not wrong. My card got declined twice last night.
Oh yeah, it did. I had to pay for your drinks.
You did.
That's what you owe me for. I wondered what you were saying.
That's what I was saying.
Anyway, yeah, we're off track.
I'm poor. And
Yeah, to sum up, Joel's poor.
very poor.
But yeah, and then the other segment we were thinking of having on this podcast is like a weekly what if, where we'll bring
A what
in.
if or like a would you rather?
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can.
Yep.
Mine's mainly because I know Max, you don't follow a team in football, but Harry, you're a big Palace fan. So would you rather Palace win the Premier League or England win the World Cup?
That's a good one. I like that.
World Cup.
Really?
World Cup. Yeah.
Oh no.
Good man.
Yeah.
Oh no, mine would be Everton winning the league every day.
Nah, World Cup.
Just because you invest like a full year into the team, you follow every game,
yeah.
and then it's like the big celebration at the end. I get the World Cup because
I think the World Cup's great because regardless like where you are, everyone
is supporting the same team.
it's just all supporting the
Yeah.
team. I love that. I love the World Cup in the
Yeah,
summer.
it was really nice. Like you felt a unity in the country, which was really,
Oh yeah.
really nice. And like one thing that I said is like, if I see someone hanging an England flag out their window, usually I'm like, oh, that person's probably racist. Like it's got that
That person's
racial
Brexit.
undertone of it now. Whereas it was nice in the World Cup, you saw it and it was like it kind of brought back national pride kind of thing. I looked at that, I was like, that's England, that's nice, rather than probably beats his wife.
Yeah.
I think with me, the best thing I think from the World Cup is like, yeah, we did incredible. Like we did really, really well, and like the entire month was just one big piss up. But the World Cup brought back my love for international football. So for like the past 4 years, it's been England playing. Who actually cares?
yeah.
And then as soon as they won, like me and you were straight in here to watch England smash Spain.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it and then Southgate and Harry Kane have both been, was it OB and MB?
Yeah, OBEs.
yeah.
So it just shows how much it meant to us as a country. Like,
Yeah.
I think that just shows how much sport means to us as a country.
That's like one of my favourite sports memories. And
Technical difficulties on the computer.
Oh no, it's all kicking off.
basically just a warning that we're coming up to an hour's long. But yeah,
Ooh, nearly at the end.
I forgot what I was saying, so I'll move on. My weekly what if, again, sorry Max, didn't know you were coming on the podcast. This probably isn't that relevant to you.
This was a last minute decision to have Max sit in this seat.
This one for Harry and Joel. You're both big football fans, but you're also both quite big, not big, but you both enjoy a drink. So my question to you is, what if every time you've had a drink, and that's not got drunk, every time you've consumed any alcohol in the week that your team play, they lose? What would you do?
It happens anyway, so like, I imagine it's no
I was
difference.
gonna say, if that was true, Everton would be folded by now. Everton wouldn't be a team anymore.
Like, this is a guaranteed thing. If you have a sip of beer or anything in the week, in like 7 days up to the game,
Yeah, but they play once a week,
that's what I mean.
so just never drink again.
Or you can drink knowing that you'll make them lose. No one else knows. Like, no one will give you stick for it, but you will know that you're the reason that Everton or Palace lost because you had a drink that week.
But if we don't drink, they'll win. Or is it that's still not guaranteed?
What if they won and then they drank after that? Would that affect the next week?
No. Yeah, if it's a week before. If they have an off week and in the off season, that's fine.
Uh-oh.
We'll go with them more likely to win if you don't drink.
Yeah, well, I'll drink.
You'd still drink?
Yeah, it's a day out, isn't it?
Oh,
It's a day out.
What I'd do is I'd probably drink on the games where we play like lower league, like lower teams, and then every time we play Liverpool, I'd be sober for like a month, just so we could put
the power.
just so we could put 10 past them every time.
The big thing with that is like as soon as the season ends, you would just die.
Oh, I would die.
You just drink like a whole year's worth in the off season.
I'm probably dying anyway, to be honest. Anyway, I think we may have hit an hour.
We've hit the hour, so we'll wrap up with that one. Yeah, this has been our first week at the the midweek wind down.
Oh, we're new to this. We don't even know, we don't even know the name of the podcast.
It's changed a few times. But yeah, thanks for listening to the midweek wind down. This is probably what it'll be week in, week out. We'll have different guests, different genres, different categories. But yeah, thanks for listening, and thank you, Harry and Max, for coming on. It's been really great chatting to you.
It's been good.
Cheers.
Good.
Bye.
Cheers.